Hi, everyone, and welcome back, and welcome to day 2 of our e-learning grade 12 business leadership course. By now, you should have watched our introductory lesson where I embedded that lesson as a YouTube video yesterday. That would have come to you in an email, and it would have been outlined in our weekly agenda, and you would have completed the daily attendance activity. If all of this sounds like gibberish, it's because you did miss that. So you want to go back and check your email as well as review the material from yesterday's class. Quick recap. Yesterday, I outlined to you that every Sunday at 8 p.m., I post a weekly calendar, a weekly agenda for everything that is going to be going on for that week. So I did explain this in the instructional video yesterday, so I won't be going through this again today. But again, you're expected to go through what I've written here and make sure that you see all of the content for the week ahead. Everything that is assigned to you during this class for that week is always due the following Monday. So for this week, all of the work that you are assigned, which in this case is just one discussion post, that is due Monday at 8 a.m. Okay, Monday, September 11th at 8 a.m. Okay. Immediately when I come to school on Monday morning, I check to see if you've done that, and if you haven't, an email goes to you. If it becomes a problem, an email goes home. Okay. Deadlines are extremely important in an e-learning classroom. This is not a virtual learning environment where you can just say, I'm not going to do anything until close to midterms. Number one, that's super stressful for me. Number two, that's even more stressful for you. You may not realize it. And number three, students do not perform well when they do that. They think they can, but they don't. Okay. So you are expected to come into this classroom every day. You are expected to spend and allocate 75 minutes every day, Monday to Friday, on this class, just as you would a regular classroom. But you have the freedom and flexibility of not being in a physical class. And you do have the freedom and flexibility of, say, getting ahead or, prioritizing work and shuffling work around. But your deadlines matter. And if you're missing deadlines, that's highly problematic in a grade 12 academic course. So I reviewed all of this yesterday, which is why I'm speaking pretty quickly, because all of that was in the instructional video yesterday, which you are required to listen to. So these instructional videos, you have to think of them as your lessons. I usually only do one a week, or I might do a few if I'm trying to explain or expand on a major project. So it's not a lot when you think about it. Normally you're in a classroom listening to your teacher 5 times a week. In this case, you just have to listen to these short videos, and it is expected that you listen to them. So again, I really strongly cannot emphasize that enough. So yesterday you would have listened to this first instructional video and completed the attendance activity. And today you're also required to listen to this instructional video and also complete your second day participation activity. A gentle reminder that for the first 2 weeks of the course, your attendance activities are each day. You are required to complete them on the day they are assigned, or you will be marked as absent. That is the only way that we can take attendance in this course. So it is essential that you complete them. And if it's a problem, I will be reaching out to your adults in your life if you're under the age of 18. Okay. Also, as I mentioned yesterday, it is expected that you are checking your Halton District School Board email daily for this class. That's another way to open lines of communication. Okay. I also outlined what's expected yesterday in the lesson for your discussion assignment for this week. So I'm not going to go over that again, as that's in your instructional video from yesterday. So just make sure that you do that and that that's done and due, obviously, by Monday at 8 a.m. Okay. So with that being said, I just wanted to pop in here again and just refresh your memory on a few things. Like I said, the attendance activities, daily activities for the first 2 weeks. After that, it's once a week. Okay, if you don't do them, you are marked absent. So it is really important that you do those. The fact that the agendas are there for you and everything for the week is due the following Monday at 8 a.m. You can also navigate the course under content. Everything that we discuss in this class will be available to you under content. Most students just use the weekly agendas because they are so convenient and everything is there for you. I also include the weekly agendas in this a separate section under content as well. So I do try to make everything really convenient. Okay. Chicago Style Citations is the citations manual that we use this semester in this course. With that being said, we'll go over that next week. But if you want to get ahead on that, I've included a really robust and detailed lesson here, as well as a whole bunch of great materials that you can start looking through to make sure that you understand how to do Chicago style, because in this class, we don't plagiarize. All right. And then everything for our units will also be available here. Again, most students don't really refer to this stuff. They just have to use the weekly agendas. And they also refer to Dropbox, which is where all of your assignments will be located. Again, next week we'll get into assignments and how to submit them from this course. So just stay tuned for Sunday's lesson because I'll be going through that more explicitly. Okay. With that being said, there is obviously, as mentioned yesterday, discussions in this course. So you go under communication and discussions. Your very first assignment for this class this week is a discussion post. And everything was explained to you in yesterday's instructional video. So just make sure that you get that done and that with every discussion post, you are always asking a question of your peers and you're reading and replying to at least 2 peer posts. Okay? So again, all of that I explained yesterday, but I just wanted to review and recap what the expectations were for today as well. All right, the other thing I wanted to review today are my e-learning classroom standards and procedures. This document is available for you under content as well as in the weekly agenda, and it really just breaks down how you're assessed. I mentioned yesterday that you're assessed using a variety of different assessment tools throughout the semester. So we have inquiry badges, assignments, projects, tests, final exam, final performance task, and your discussion posts. You're also assessed based on your learning skills. So if you're looking at how does she figure out how to assess learning skills throughout the semester in an e-learning classroom, this document is for you. So for example, for responsibility, what I expect from e-learning students, especially grade 12 academic e-learning students, is that you behave in a professional manner. You are logging in and completing your work every day, that you are not missing your classes or missing your deadlines. That's really important. That you're demonstrating ethical use of your technology. So you're not, sending me disrespectful email communication or adding, disrespectful content in your assignments. That never seems to be an issue. So hopefully it won't be this semester. That you're obviously making sure that you're not plagiarizing or relying on things like ChatGPT, which we'll talk more about as the semester unfolds, and certainly next week. And that you're creating presentations in a professional manner. You do presentations in this course, they're just done over video, okay? And I'll explain more of that as the semester unfolds as well. But again, my expectation is that you're not just reading off of your computer while you're presenting because it's completely obvious, but you're treating it like it was a live interview or that you were really practicing in advance. And again, that you're treating your online classroom like a regular classroom. You're attending every day, you're logging in every day, you're completing your work on the deadlines, you're meeting those expectations, okay? And that ties into your organization, making sure that you're taking notes, that you're keeping organized with all of the content. That's a really hard thing to do in an e-learning space. And so getting on top of that right from the beginning is really important. And it's always very obvious, especially on projects and exams and tests. I always can tell if students have not been following along on the lessons, okay? Independent work, obviously, that ties to, again, following instructions, making sure that your work is original content, that you're collaborating with your classmates, that you're engaging in the class discussion posts, that you're always reading and replying to at least 2 peer comments, etc. Initiative and self-regulation is really important to me. Communicate, communicate, communicate. I'm available for you. I have open office hours. Get into a Google Meet with me. Send me emails. If you ever need an extension for something, I do provide extensions. That's no problem. Obviously, what I would expect for situations where you may not be able to meet the deadline is an email sent to me directly at least 24 hours in advance. Ideally on the Thursday or Friday before the Monday deadline. Okay, you should know by then if things are just too much. Okay. And the extension, again, what you would want to do is ensure that within the email, you would explain why you didn't meet the expectation of the deadline, why you need the extension, and for how long. Okay. It's really important to me that you meet deadlines. As soon as an assignment is due, I go in and check who hasn't completed that assignment. And again, if it's not in on the deadline, it's not in on the deadline. So there should be a reason coming to me as to why. Hopefully this is not an issue because there is more flexibility in an e-learning classroom, but it is something that, again, usually a third of the class can struggle with. So getting on top of that right away is really, really important. Most importantly, reach out and communicate. It's very important to me that you do that. Okay. And that's that self-regulation and initiative piece. And that's pretty much it. Again, a lot of this was really reiterated to you in our conversation yesterday. But I wanted to make sure that the first days of really overwhelming, and there's a lot of information coming to you. And if you've never really done an e-learning class, every teacher does it differently. So having that, refresher reminder is really important. But I will be doing this as things unfold and as you have new assignments and I review the expectations as to how you complete things. So again, cannot stress how important it is that you are following along on these instructional videos, because again, this is where your expectations as to what I'm looking for will be met. Okay. So that's what's on tap for today. And tomorrow, don't forget to do that discussion post to ask a question of your peers, read and reply to 2 peer comments. That's due by the morning, Monday morning at 8 a.m. And you must do your attendance activities on the day they are assigned for Wednesday, Thursday, Friday of this week. Okay. Stay tuned for another instructional video explaining the whole agenda next week when we start to get into assignments. Okay. We'll look at citations, how to submit assignments, plagiarism, and a whole bunch of other stuff. Have a great day, everyone. If you have any questions, you know where to find me, and I'll see you online.